Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is a Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, July 26th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Google ranking volatility, of course, big generative search experience is out. Reddit blocked Bing and other search engines. Third-party cookies are sticking around. Ads are coming to AI overviews. SearchGPT, and so much more. So definitely stay tuned. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Duda. Duda is the professional website builder you can call your own. Check them out at duda.co. Thanks so much, Duda, for sponsoring. Okay, so first up, Google is having some ranking volatility, actually right now as well. It started around July 23rd or so, and it's been spiking ever since. So like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's been a pretty volatile week. Lots of comments in the post, of course, and all the tools are really showing significant spikes. Trust me, I'm not going to include a video image of it because literally it just keeps spiking and spiking. So if you are noticing ranking volatilities around July 23rd and onwards, you are definitely not alone. Google's been up to something, and we're still waiting for that core update to come, where it's expected soon. So stay tuned and buckle up. Bing announced its new Bing generative search experience, not to be confused with the Google search generative experience. So SGE, which is Google, GSE, which is Bing. And this Bing generative search experience is a little bit more useful and linky, I guess if you call it, than the Google version. Google obviously has their AI overviews, which links are pretty sad in there, but this is a whole new way of laying out the search results. So people think it's a little bit cluttered, but if you look at it, it's pretty cool. I mean, they're sticking the traditional search results all the way to the right-hand side as like a side note, which is kind of sad. But the AI-generated layout for the AI-generated search results in the middle panel are actually very link-heavy. So it's pretty cool to see that. Here's a screenshot of that, and it looks like Bing really put a lot of thought into this. Michael Schechter said he's really excited about the next step forward for search. Jody Rebos from Microsoft said he's also excited about this new search generative experience. But yeah, definitely take a look at it. It's pretty interesting. It's going to be tested in a small number of users, user queries going forward. I'm able to actually see it for some queries. So definitely take a look at it. It's pretty interesting. Talking about Bing, it looks like Bing is no longer able to actually index new Reddit content. Reddit has put up, like we reported earlier this month, a new robot.txt. Google was able to, like we covered earlier, Google is able to index Reddit. Reddit's kind of like cloaking or serving up their robot.txt file using IP delivery. That being said, Bing is still blocked. And Microsoft told us that Microsoft respects the robot.txt standard, and we honor the directives provided by websites that do not want content on their pages to be used with our generative AI models. Bing stopped crawling Reddit after they implemented their updated robot.txt file on July 1st, which prohibits all crawling of their site. Reddit also told The Verge that we've been in discussion with multiple search engines. We have been unable to reach agreements with all of them since some are unable or unwilling to make enforceable promises regarding the use of Reddit content, including in the use of AI. So basically, Reddit, Bing's not paying, so Google is, so Bing does not get Reddit content, Google does. Obviously, there's a lot of discussion around possible monopolistic practices around this and so forth. I have a lot of comments on the blog post, so definitely take a look at that. Google will not deprecate, is not going to go ahead and deprecate third-party cookies in Chrome. This was something that Google's been working on for a while. We discussed it many years ago, and Google has delayed it. They've changed it from Flock to Topics to other things over the years. And it looks like they're scrapping those efforts. The cookies are not going away. They are going to be staying, and Google's going to think about something in the future. What they're going to think about in the future, we are not sure. But Google wrote, instead of deprecating third-party cookies, we would introduce a new experience in Chrome that lets people make informed choices that apply across the web browsing. And they'll be able to adjust those choices at any time. In any event, it's not going away. So it kind of was a big shock to a lot of people, but after Google delaying it and changing it and stuff like that, it's pretty interesting that it was a surprise. Google has said again that they are soon going to be testing AI overview ads. So ads directly in AI overview. Right now they're showing ads above and below, but they're actually going to start testing ads directly in the AI overviews. This was said by Philip Schindler, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Business Officer at Google. Not a surprise there. Google announced this at I/O that this would happen, and we're still waiting to see tests of ads in AI overviews. Talking about AI overviews, Glenn Gabe spotted that they're actually showing new link citations directly in those AI overviews, that when you click on those link citations, it actually overlays the search snippets of those AI overviews. There's also a little like favicon at the top right that shows all the citations using the favicons. And then when you click on them, it shows this like search result bar that could actually, as Glenn said, be a good place to put ads. Also spotted by Adam Reamer, who's noticed a desktop view with those snippets, or those like search result snippets that are cited in the AI overviews, are actually on the right-hand side, which is pretty interesting to see. And I think the UI works pretty well, but I don't know if Google's going to launch it. We will see. Google's testing and testing and testing to see what happens. Talking about AI overviews again, is Google's also trying this save button, where you can actually save AI overviews to your save bucket list that you can use later. It goes into your interest section in Google. And also, if you save it, actually, next time you go to that AI overviews, it's going to actually say that this is the date you actually generated this AI overview, and it was saved on this date. So it's pretty interesting to see that as well. Also on AI overviews are being used in Google search. When you click on a video, sometimes those videos actually overlay in the Google search results. Now Google's actually showing AI overviews for video descriptions for those videos in the actual Google search results. So that's pretty interesting there as well. Nice find by Gag and Gorta. Nice find there. Google announced last night that Google Gemini got a big update. It's using 1.5 Flash. It's using a bunch of other things. It's much faster and so forth. But other news is that they're actually adding related content links as well as verification links that kind of look like those cards that you get in the AI overviews. So it looks like Google Gemini is getting a little bit more linky, which is nice. Always nice to have citations in those AI overviews that can generate traffic to publishers that they're getting their sources of information from. Also on AI news, OpenAI, not to be outdone by the others, announced SearchGPT. Nobody's really surprised by this, but basically it's OpenAI's answer to using AI for search. And basically, this was announced last night. And again, it kind of looks a lot like Gemini, where it's actually providing, like you ask a question, it gives you the AI answer, but it includes links, citations to those results, which is pretty interesting. So you can actually, it's very limited right now. You have to join the wait list to actually get into that. And it's funny because Perplexity opened up its waitlist to people who were interested in it as well, just because, again, this is a direct hit at Perplexity. Also, Google stock dropped a lot, or a little bit, because of this news. But SearchGPT is here. You can actually go ahead and check it out in terms of demos. But if you want to actually play with it yourself, you have to join the waiting list. And then Google's knowledge panels are starting to show up. Sometimes they actually have AI-generated images in those knowledge panels. This was spotted by Jess Joyce, who did a search for Beethoven, and basically this AI images came up of him as well. Also, this was spotted back by Juan Gonzalez Villa back in March of Google using AI-generated images in those AI overviews as well, in the actual knowledge panels as well. So this is kind of the new world where, actually that AI image is actually coming from a pretty good source for that topic. So I guess that's why Google's using it. So it actually looks pretty cool. So Google is testing, or actually it seems to be launching or rolling out slowly, larger site names and larger favicons in the search results. And it's pretty noticeable. This is first spotted by Shaheem, who told me about this, and it's been going on for a couple weeks now, and now actually it seems to be rolling out to more and more people. So if you are noticing larger site links, site names, and favicons in the Google search results, you're definitely not alone. John Mueller said, don't use LLMs, language models like AI, for SEO advice. This kind of echoes what Gary Ish said back a few months ago, but basically the same thing. Somebody was showing an example about disavow advice, and it was said, don't use this disavow, one says, use this disavow, and it goes back and forth, and both are actually true. But that being said, John Mueller again said it's not recommended to use these language models, these AI language models, for SEO advice. Apple Maps has launched a pre-beta or a public beta of their web version of Apple Maps. You can actually access it at beta.maps.apple.com. It works pretty well. It seems pretty fine. You can look up people, places, and so forth, which just means that if you have a business or you have clients that have businesses, you do any local SEO, you want to make sure to get their business on Apple Business Connect, which is their version of Google Business Profiles. Google is testing or launching a new Google Local Service Ads budget options. This is spotted by Nate Lewis. You can actually go ahead and set your budget so that you don't go over a certain budget. There's like these spend limits now, so definitely take a look at that if you are doing local service ads and you want to make sure to budget properly. Google also has a new Sitelinks interface advertiser control that lets you manage your site links better for your ads. This is spotted by Thomas Excel. Here's a screenshot of that. Google Ads Editor version 2.7 is now out. 2.7 was released back, I think, on July 22nd to 23rd. The big changes include AI generated assets, account level content label exclusions, and account level negative keywords. It's basically making it more on par with the features within Google Ads. Version 2.6 was released back in March, and then version 2.5 was released back in November of last year. So you have these normal updates for these Google Ad Editor versions often enough. Microsoft Advertising has these new brand lists for Performance Max campaigns. This is spotted or covered by Anu at Search Engine Land. These brand lists allow advertisers to exclude their ads from appearing alongside specific brands, potentially improving ad relevancy and return on ad spend, she said. So definitely take a look at that if you are using Microsoft Advertising and you want to check out these brand lists. And finally, Google announced their revenues, their earnings report, their Q2 earnings report, and they had a great Q2. I think their stock was down a little bit, but their ad revenue was up really, really significantly. It was up 11%, hitting 64.62 billion ad revenue for that quarter. The only better quarter they had was last Q4, which Q4s are always really amazing for holiday shopping. This was their number 2 best ever quarter for ad revenue. And it seems like they're just charging whatever they want for CPCs, and it's costing advertisers a ton of money, and people are paying it. So they're doing very well. Their profits are actually absolutely up significantly. They're making a lot of money, but their stock was down because of other services like cloud, I think, and YouTube ads and so forth. So in any event, keep that in mind. Everyone have a great, safe, healthy weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Again, thanks to Dudas for sponsoring. Deeply appreciate it. Everyone have a safe weekend, and I'll be back next week. Bye-bye.